jetvac is a range of industrial air-powered vacuum equipment. It will collect any wet material, any dry material. It's been used on pharmaceuticals, it's used for tea, coffee, sugar collection. It will pick up iron filings. It is used for the collection of contaminated waste. It can move a gallon of water a second. It is very powerful. The Ministry of Defence is our biggest customer. They use them for dry dock, clean down of ships, collecting all the materials that are used to clean down the ships, as no longer, due to environmental rules, all the washdown can no longer be swept over the side to pollute our waters, our rivers, so the materials have to be collected off the decks of the ships. Our jetvac unit was recently trialled on HMS Cornwall at Plymouth Dockyard, and the jetvac was on the dry dock sucking from 300 feet away. I was introduced to BusinessLink. I used to horse ride with a girl who was on the sales team. Then I was introduced to a gentleman called Roland Briley, who was our business agent, and he has kept in contact all these years. Over the years has been a big help. He's introduced us to companies where he knows our jetvac would be useful. He is an engineer by trade, so he's very, very knowledgeable in our engineering background.
I have over 25 years' experience in manufacturing industry. I started my career as an apprentice, and I qualified as a tool maker before moving on to jig and tool design, production planning, work study, program CNC tool machines, and then on to more technical areas like industrial engineering and manufacturing engineering.
From instigation, our introduction to Roland Briley, he came to the company and he did a diagnostic, and it was very quickly identified that sales and marketing is not our forte. We're good at manufacturing the product, we're good at doing what we know what to do, but sales and marketing was certainly beyond our scope.
One of the first things we did was to undertake a business performance diagnostic and to benchmark the company against similar organisations. The outcome of the benchmarking exercise revealed that compared to other companies, A Furness were not concentrating on the sales and marketing activity. To combat this, I got the company to look at developing their website to some e-commerce facilities to attract more business.
It's developed from the diagnostic stage where he was introduced to the company just to help us with the sales and marketing. I realised then that he's very knowledgeable, and if there are any grants available, if I need to speak to somebody, or if there are any networking events where Roland feels that there are people who we would be interested in meeting, then Roland can advise me accordingly on who I need to speak to and tell me at what venues I'm likely to meet them.
We undertook some research to try and identify potential customers or industry markets or market sectors, geographical or industrial, that we could sell the product into. Subsequently, we looked at developing the capability of the jetvac to be used in explosive atmospheres, which I saw as an extremely added value area where we could sell into aerospace, offshore oil rigs, and anywhere where there may be explosive gases or liquids.
At one particular venue, Roland had identified that there was a gentleman attending who worked partly on the offshore rigs and partly had his own pump manufacturing company. We sat together, we talked, and subsequently bought several £1,000s worth of equipment off us.
With my experience and contacts within the aerospace sector, I visit the North West Aerospace Alliance events on a frequent basis. I identified contacts within the Aerospace Alliance who may be helpful to Linda to identify potential customers. One of the lists of information I gave to Linda was for all the private aircrafts and airfields within the UK. Specifically for the advanced engineering sector, there are a team of advisors like myself covering the whole of the North West and providing advice to companies supplying or in the advanced engineering sector. There is also support from the Manufacturing Advisory Service for manufacturing companies in the North West, who will perform a free diagnostic for companies to help them to identify areas where they can reduce costs, reduce lead times and improve profitability.